We're back for another episode, another installment of Into the DCEU, where Christine and we discuss all the. Sorry, I'm just laughing at Fluffy Kitty there. She's got a weird expression on her face there. We're going through all the DCEU movies, so we've done 4 of them so far.
Yeah.
And now we're on to the 5th one, which is Justice League from 2017. So finally we're getting justice.
Right.
I would like you to go first on this movie, dear. It's from 2017. Go right ahead. It's an hour and 59 minutes long. I'm going to look up the critic rating. You go right ahead and tell us your thoughts on this movie.
This movie is not good at all. It's the worst one I've seen from DC.
Worse than Man of Steel?
Oh, yes. This one, like, quarter way through, I just wanted to leave. It was just so stupid. It has a villain that's not explained. We don't know why the villain's doing it. What are these boxes all about?
Steppenwolf.
No one seems to care about the boxes. They're not even guarding them properly. It's just really dumb, and I really didn't like it. I didn't want to watch it, but I watched it for the show so we could talk about it. But it's not set up right. The characters say everything they say is not right in my mind. It's just really stupid.
Okay.
And that's my opinion about it. I give it like a 22.
This movie currently has a 39% Rotten Critic rating and a 68% audience score. So a lot of people didn't like this movie. I don't think I enjoy, and I haven't seen it since it was in the theater when I saw it then. Now let's try and be positive about this. Tell me some things that you liked about this. This is a bad movie, but tell me some things that you thought that you liked about it.
To me, it was like an annoying commercial. I just wanted to leave and turn it off and fast forward for it.
How was it a commercial?
What did I like about it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I didn't like much anything about it. I didn't like anything about it. It was just garbled up.
Did you like any of the actors or actresses in their roles here?
I thought that it was funny that they made Superman come back to life.
Yeah, that was a weird way of how they got Superman to come back to life. I wrote that down here in my notes. But it wasn't a
comedy.
Okay, would you? I'm only gonna list my pros.
They should have made it more comedic. Then it would be better.
I want to be positive because we did get a comment a while back saying that you did a review of Star Trek Picard season 3, and all you listed was the negative things, and I'm like, yeah, you got to put positive things.
I did say positive things, but I think that didn't go well. I was not happy with it. I'm allowed to say that's what it's about. This movie, I don't even think we should have wasted our time watching it. It's just not a good movie at all.
Yeah, people don't like this one.
Set up right. The story doesn't make much sense. These boxes, these weird creatures, they don't explain it properly. And the characters don't seem to mesh well as a team. The only thing interesting about it was bringing Superman back to life. That was the only interesting thing about it, and I think it should have been a comedy. It could have been really funny.
I think this should have been. I agree with you there.
He should have been really cuckoo puffs, and he should have went a bit nuts and stuff like that. It could have been really funny, but instead it was just one note, the whole thing. I just didn't like it. I don't really have anything good to say about it. I just think it was a waste of money.
Yeah, I'm going to get into that and why it was made so bad, because that's the studio's fault. So here's the things that I liked about this bad movie, because I had fun, but it's bad. So Jeremy Irons is back as Alfred Pennyworth, and he's just as snarky as ever, okay? He was one of the few good things in BVS for me. So he's back, and he's great. Love him. Jason Momoa as Aquaman, my man! Okay? You gotta have that.
But we don't know who Aquaman is at this point, and we don't get a good sense of it. They just throw these characters in, and we don't know who some of them are yet.
Well, we got we got the teaser trailers for all of them back in BVS.
Don't really get who he is, and they just throw him in there.
So we know Superman by now, except he's dead at the beginning because we got Man of Steel. We know Ben Affleck's crazy fascist Batman from BVS. Okay, we know Wonder Woman because we just got a whole movie about her, but it's the other characters we don't know that much. Flash, we saw a cameo of in BVS and in Suicide Squad, which was one of the good parts of Suicide Squad when he shows up to take down Captain Boomerang at the bank. There was like a 30-second spot on that. So Jason Momoa is Aquaman. I love that. My man. Again, X-Men reference there near the beginning. That was pretty cool. Alien probe joke. That was funny. The movie stops and suddenly there's this news clip and this lady's like, huh, aliens took my husband. They better not be probing him. I don't want them to probe my husband. Come on, that was hilarious.
That part, but I
still
didn't even understand who the bad guys were. Were they aliens? They didn't seem to be aliens. They seemed to be those god people again. I don't think they were aliens.
I mean, Superman's an alien.
They didn't seem to be aliens.
J.K. Simmons as Lieutenant Jim Gordon. I mean, J.K. Simmons is always amazing.
Wasn't in it very much.
No, he's not supposed to be. But yeah, why they contract all these big actors for these tiny roles? I think
they scratched that out on their resume. I think they said take that one off.
The Speed Force effect with Barry Allen for the Flash, that looked really good. I enjoyed that. They did a lot of good stuff with that. Wonder Woman fighting Steppenwolf in the sewer battle when they're underneath Gotham Harbor there, and before all the water, when she's fighting him, that's pretty cool. She's like, I got this. Okay? Well, all the other guys are just kind of bumbling, and Flash is tripping over himself and injuring himself.
He seemed to be really clumsy and didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't really enjoy that. They used the mother box to boost Superman alive. So get this. It's essentially like they're boosting a car battery. So they use this mother box, which, as Christine said, they didn't explain what's going on very well.
Still don't know what a mother box is, even at the end.
A lot of this movie is essentially saying, hey, you know all this stuff from the DC comics? And you get Christine here, no, we don't know this stuff. It's like, you know all this stuff from the comics? Well, here it is, and we're not going to explain it to you, but you'll love it because it's from the comics. And that doesn't make sense to general audiences. Even me, I'm not a huge DC fan. I like DC.
Did you know what a mother box was before you watched this movie?
Yeah, sort of.
We still don't know what it is. I think it more confused the topic.
Yeah.
than not.
Okay. Well, the fact that they're like, this is what happened to the 3 mother boxes. One was given to men, and they just bury it in a hole that's 6 feet deep. Yeah, no one will ever find that. And that's why Cialis Stone has it, because he's like, yeah, I can dig up a 6-foot hole. Someone clearly did.
That was the name of the character. I don't get it. And the cyborg character, I don't understand.
That's his son.
We haven't seen the characters before, and they don't introduce them.
Like
they needed to do it like in Suicide Squad and explain who they are, because I don't understand who
As I was saying, they're saying this is stuff from the comic books. You know it, and so here it is. They just don't explain it for people who don't know it.
The character was very mopey. They need to have more humor. I thought it could have been
positive things funny. Here. Positive things here. Stop being so negative all the time. I'm not negative on your Harry Potter stuff.
Oh no.
No, I'm giving you my opinion.
I just really didn't like it.
Okay, so they use the mother box to boost Superman alive, kind of like they're boosting your car. Does it make sense? No. It was ridiculous, but I thought it was funny.
That's the only thing I liked about it. It was funny, but they didn't make it.
Now, they used this a couple of times. The Pet Cemetery joke. Yeah. So Barry Allen is... Okay, so if we bring him back, is he going to be like... He's going to be cool, or is he going to be like Pet Cemetery?
Exactly.
And then when he goes crazy, they're like, Pet Cemetery.
Pet Cemetery. Yeah. But he could have... They could have really made
that was a good joke. Okay?
I guess.
Superman stares down the Flash when they're fighting by his old ruined statue in the park. And the Justice League is all fighting him, except for Batman. And then Flash is suddenly, I'm going to run around him super fast. And Superman's like, I see you. You see his eyes move? Like, and Barry Allen's freaking out. He's like, oh my God, he can see me? Because he's moving so fast.
Expect that?
And then he turns, because no one's ever done that to him, right? Because Superman can be that fast. And he turns his head. He's like, I see you, bitch. And that was fun. And Barry Allen's just freaking out. And then I think he trips again. It was hilarious.
Well, we don't know.
This should have been a comedy. This would have been a great comedy if they had just done stuff like that the whole time. Then after the fight, Batman's just laying down in the park. He's like, oh, I'm in pain. Oh, this sucks. That was funny. Aquaman in the when they're in the troop carrier and they're going to Russia, although this movie has not aged well because I
sense
wouldn't
if it
send
was
them. I wouldn't go to Russia to save them now.
It would have made more sense if it was in Ukraine.
Aquaman on the troop carrier. There's the lasso of truth joke because he's sitting on it and he starts saying, he's like, "I'm young, man. I don't want to die. I got shit to do. I want to do things, right?"
Why couldn't they actually go to Chernobyl, I guess, is my question. Why did they make it a fake place? It was Chernobyl, essentially.
They said it was northern Russia, is what they said in the news.
But they called it a name, but they could have just said they were at Chernobyl, it would have made.
Yeah, but it's the DC universe. It's all fake cities and fake places. You know, remember Kondok? That's not a real place.
No, but Chernobyl...
Atlantis? That's not a real place.
Had it in Chernobyl.
Okay.
I think that would have been
Jason... Okay, Aquaman riding on top of the Batmobile there. That looked cool. That was fun. That's the kind of stuff you want. You want funny stuff. Jason Momoa is chewing all the scenery in this. Now, I'm going to get into some drama behind the scenes stuff, but apparently there was a lot of problems on set with this movie. There's so much drama surrounding all these movies.
I thought he was mumbling a bit.
Okay? But he looked like he was having a great time and chewing all the scenery. And he's just having a great time. Yeah! He's great. So I can't say anything bad about him. The Justice League members are all ripping on each other when they start having some camaraderie, and they're like, "Your thing's dumb." It's like, "You talk to fish." And it's just like, "Hey man, what happened to your legs?" Cyborg. It's just random stuff like that. And then Steppenwolf in the end battle, that's the main guy, which everyone's like, this is a bad villain. They don't introduce him or anything. He just shows up.
I don't know what he is.
He just shows up out of a boom tube, but they don't explain that. As a comic book reader, I know what that is. And you hear the boom. He just shows up.
Was he not a god? He wasn't an alien.
I think technically they are aliens because they come from another planet.
But they are the gods, like the Greek gods, are they not?
Well, he mentions the new gods. Anyway, once again, I don't know.
He seems to be a god, but did they treat him in the movie like
it's like God
alien?
I think of it as the sense of God as in Thor and the Asgardians are gods. They're essentially aliens, but they call themselves gods. Are they really gods, or are they just
previous movies,
full of themselves?
Like in the Wonder Woman movies, they are actually the Greek gods. So
yeah, but they are all killed off. They mentioned that.
Wow.
So Steppenwolf in the end battle, he just rips off Cyborg's legs. He's got him up top and he's like pulling, and he just rips off his leg. I'm like, yeah, that was cool. That shows that he can be. I mean, he should have been tougher because they didn't really. Anyway, Flash and Superman competing to save people. Flash, he gets the Russians out in their truck, and then he looks up and he's like, I'm so great. And then suddenly Superman's flying by with a building full of people. He's like, I got this. Come on, that was funny. Should have just been more of that. Superman's suit is way more colorful, like that. Definitely. All their suits are colorful.
It's a different color than it was before.
Yeah, because they're course correcting.
I don't really explain it, but it is an aqua color.
We see for the first time Superman's freeze breath. He blows his freeze breath at Steppenwolf, and that's how they're able to smash his axe. And so we see that for the first time. That was all right. Steppenwolf's helmet, which is the only thing that's left, that's the first trophy for the Justice League. In the Hall of Justice, if you remember the old Super Friends cartoon, they're supposed to have like a trophy room, and that's the first trophy is his helmet. So he's got that big like pointy horned helmet, which looks ridiculous. Oh yeah, they made Ray Fisher say Cyborg's line. Booyah. Not as fun as on Teen Titans Go with what's his name, Kari Payton.
Like
he owns that role.
That. Instead, he was like really depressed and like mopey
again. Yeah, I didn't care for that.
All of their characters, other than Wonder Woman, are depressed and mopey.
Okay, so you don't see. So Martha Kent has lost the house. They foreclose on it. That's at the beginning of the movie.
No surprise there.
Okay. And you don't see it in this, but in the other version, the Zack Snyder Justice League version, which is over 4 hours. We didn't watch that. We watched the Joss Whedon one. Bruce Wayne. So in that version, you know where she's working now? She's working at Sears. Okay.
Poor thing. That's going to go on.
Yeah, that's not so good. But anyway, Bruce Wayne buys the bank to give Superman back his house. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good. It shows the contrast between the two characters. Because Batman technically has no superpowers, and Superman has is way overpowered, but he's so poor, and Bruce Wayne's like, yeah, I'll just buy the bank. Here's your house back. We're cool. Sorry for killing you there, buddy. We're trying to.
He just makes his mother live in poverty.
Did you notice that his scar was gone? Like his scar that Batman gave him from that spear is gone.
Superman doesn't scar up. Isn't that one of his things? He's like,
well, if you get cut with a kryptonite spear, he would.
I don't think so.
So that was gone.
He heals up so good.
Amy Adams is back as Lois Lane. Now, they don't give her much to do in these movies, and I feel bad for Amy Adams.
She also scratched these off her resume.
Yeah, it's a big Hollywood movie, so you want this, and you want the money and the residuals, right? But they don't give her much to do, but when she's in it, she tries to do as much as she can with the little she's given. I feel bad for her, but she's good regardless. Even in a bad movie, she's doing her best, and I respect that. She's really good at her job. We see old Wayne Manor again that you love, that's been destroyed forever.
Fix it up?
Because he lives in that lake apartment.
I know, but
now he's fixing it up, and now it's going to be the Hall of Justice.
Oh.
Okay,
maybe he'll finally mow the lawn.
Well, yeah, he'll hire some gardeners. He's a billionaire. He can do that. Henry Cavill does the classic Superman open shirt and then flies off at the end. Finally, we get that.
No personality at all in this.
Yeah,
he's even more void of personality than in the other.
That's not his fault.
But they should have made him all glitchy or something. That would have been interesting.
There's a mid-credit scene with Superman and the Flash, which is a classic fan debate. Who's faster, Superman or the Flash? So they have a race, and that's fun. Come on. And they're joking around. He's like, if you lose, you're off the team, Barry, because we don't like you.
I think the Flash should be, because technically he's just from another planet.
No, that was a long debate for decades. Now there's a definitive answer. It's the Flash because he has the Speed Force.
That's what I was
thinking. So he can run through time. So
right.
Yeah, he's faster tthan Superman.
Kal-El, or he's just like an alien that's from a planet that they're stronger and better than us, but he doesn't have magic or whatever.
Yeah. So that was a fun scene, and fans, I think a lot of fans enjoyed that one. I remember hearing about that. And then there's an end credit scene, which I didn't really care for, but we got to see Deathstroke, Slade Wilson, whom we saw in Arrow, and we saw in Teen Titans Go
Deadpool
to the movies.
At first, because he looked like Deadpool in this movie.
You're gonna love this.
A lot.
So the guy who created, there's two creators. I can't remember both their names. So one of them created the creators that made Deadpool. Okay.
Yeah.
The artist is Rob Liefeld. Okay. He's the guy that everyone says can't draw feet. There's this funny joke about it.
Okay.
Him and the writer over at Marvel were writing the New Mutants, and they created the character Deadpool. So Deadpool looks very similar to Deathstroke.
Yeah.
And Deathstroke name is Slade Wilson.
Right.
And Deadpool's name is Wade Wilson. And the reason why they did that is because in the 80s they were reading the Teen Titans comic and they both loved it, so they made this character, and they're like, it's a rip on Deathstroke.
Slade Wilson is Australian. Is he correct, or New Zealand born?
I don't remember where he is. I thought he was British. I don't remember.
Because isn't that
Slade Wilson is similar
New Zealand?
I don't know. He's similar to Batman in the sense that he's rich and he has a butler, and there's some weird stuff.
He's from the guy
the guy on Arrow, the show, who played what's his name there? The guy who played Deathstroke there.
New Zealand or Australia. One of those places.
It's not all I'm thinking of is Tamara Morrison, and that's not him.
I think he's from New Zealand. Anyway,
Manu Bennett.
Yes.
He played Deathstroke in the Arrow show, and he's New Zealand. He's from New Zealand, I believe. And he was great. That was a way better version of Deathstroke.
Yeah. Okay, question. Do they actually do anything with this Deathstroke guy after this? No.
No, we haven't seen him yet.
Exactly.
We haven't seen him again. And we haven't seen, and thankfully we haven't seen Jesse Eisenberg again back as freaking
he was in
Lex Luthor.
He didn't do very much.
No, since that, yeah, so he was in the post-credits scene. We see that he's broken out of jail. He's still bald, and he's like, guys, we gotta form our own baseball female baseball team, get Gina Davis back. I'm like, okay, that's funny.
That was my joke.
Because that was his line. He's like, we gotta, shouldn't we have a league of our own? First thing I thought, I'm like, call Gina Davis. She's amazing.
Exactly.
So,
He already had two chicks there looking beefy standing behind him. Anyway, I don't know, but if you're gonna put a scene like that in a movie, you at least have to like do something with it afterwards.
Okay, what rating do you give this movie from?
I think I gave it a 22.
22?
I really found it like an annoying commercial, and I just wanted to stop watching
This was a bit painful to watch, and most people don't like Joss Whedon's Justice League. Some like Zack Snyder's better, but I ain't watching that because it's 4 hours and 2 minutes long. But this one came out November 17. I give this one, even though I had some fun with it, I give it a worst movie ever because most of it is not great, and I don't want to get into that. So let's talk about some of the behind-the-scenes drama about this. So, this movie, Zack Snyder is credited as the director, but he didn't actually direct the movie. While they were making it, he had to step away because of a family tragedy. Mm-hmm. That's unfortunate. He tried to come back, but it didn't work out. And so they brought in Joss Whedon, who's his friend, and he tried to do what he could with this movie. And I don't want to get into my thoughts on Joss Whedon. I don't know what
the story was in
the reason why this movie is bad, and why a bunch of these other movies have been bad, is because they were rushed by the studio. They didn't take the time to get good scripts, to get good, to do really good reshoots on that. And this one was the worst because this came out in November of 2017 in wide release. And the reason why it came out is because the current regime at the time, which had already changed over from 2013 when the first DCEU movie came out, Man of Steel, it had changed over. And so now at this time it was Kevin Tsujihara and all these other bigwigs at Warner Bros. They knew that AT&T was coming in to buy it, eventually, to buy Warner Brothers.
The business daddy.
Yeah. The business day, as John Oliver says it, they knew that was coming. And so the reason why this movie was rushed to come out, and they didn't wait for Zack Snyder to eventually come back, and they could have delayed it a year or two, I don't know. And the reason for that is corporate greed. Because if they waited on it, the merger could have gone ahead, and then those executives wouldn't get their bonuses. Okay? Because these movies have to come out, and then they get big $1 million bonuses. Well, and what happened was
doing good so far with the movie.
Because when another company comes in and buys your company, they usually clear house with management, put their own people in, right? So that would mean that those executives wouldn't get their bonuses. So this was about corporate greed, and they rushed it, which is not a good idea.
But it's kind of doesn't excuse the other previous terrible movies.
And those movies were rushed. Well, not Man of Steel, but the other ones were rushed as well because once they made Man of Steel, then Warner Brothers is say, okay, we're going to put in this schedule. We're going to come out with BVS and Suicide Squad in 2016. Then in 2017, we're going to come out with Wonder Woman, and we're going to come out with Justice League. And then in 2018, we're going to come out with, I think it was supposed to come out with The Flash and Aquaman. And The Flash we're only getting now in 2023.
Wonder Woman was spectacular compared to this film.
The point of this is they rushed because they want to create their own shared cinematic universe. So they're rushing to catch up with Marvel. And the reason Marvel launched the MCU in 2008 with Iron Man and The Incredible Hulk. And they had to make good movies, and then they made them connected and created their shared universe, and they built it up. And they made mistakes too. I'm not a huge fan of Iron Man or Iron Man 2 or Iron Man 3, but I have fun with them. So that was a problem with these movies, is that they rushed them. Now, getting into even more stuff, there was a lot of problems on set with this movie. And many of the cast, especially Ray Fisher, who plays Cyborg, he came out and talked about how he was treated really badly. So he comes from theater. So his acting career in movies is done once you do this, right? Because he came out and talked a lot of trash, and it forced Warner Brothers to launch an HR investigation. He said that the treatment on set for all the Justice League cast was really terrible.
All of them. Was he specifically, were they racist against him or what?
I think they were just treated very poor. I don't want to get into the details.
The stars. I mean, usually that's not a good idea.
Yeah, well, I mean, Henry Cavill certainly was shortchanged because they gave him really bad stuff in this, and when they marketed this movie, you see, there's Henry Cavill right there as Superman. they didn't. He wasn't in any of the promotional material. So it's like, hey, Superman's in this, but we're not going to show you him. You got to come see the movie. And guess what? A lot of people didn't go see the movie because I don't think that's the main reason why it bombed. He came out and talked about terrible treatment. Was it true? Was it not? I don't want to weigh into that.
Well, the movie itself is terrible.
Gal Gadot was pissed off about a couple of things that came out.
This is a B movie. This is not.
Well, this is not good.
This is not good at all.
It's worse than BVS for you?
Oh, it's worse than all of them.
This
one doesn't even make sense.
I would say I had more fun with this one than BVS because it had more jokes in it. And if it was like a straight up comedy, say it was all jokes the whole time, it wouldn't matter. Okay.
It's bad. It's really bad. It's the worst of them all.
For you. For me, it's not. I don't really like BVS, but I had some fun with this movie. So that's why I listed those funny jokes. I'm saying if I would have redone this, and who listens to me? No one. But I would have done it as just a comedy. So no matter what wacky, stupid things you do with mother boxes and aliens and parademons, that doesn't matter because you're laughing. If it was just nonstop jokes, that would have been a good approach to this. I think they should have made it really funny. Now here's some more drama for you. So that we talked about how that was rushed. So here's some more drama for you. Suicide Squad had a bunch of drama on set.
Okay.
And this, you know how I don't like Jared Leto as the Joker?
I know you don't like Jared Leto.
I don't like Jared Leto at all. But this is the movie. This movie was the catalyst for me of why I don't like him. He's done a lot of crappy things that I don't like.
I like his acting.
In this movie, he describes himself, well, in all of his movies, he's a method actor according to him.
Okay.
And he's an Academy Award actor, which means nothing to me because he's won awards. I don't know what it's for.
He's a good actor.
Well, he was doing a bunch of crap on set of Suicide Squad.
Getting into the character or something?
Yeah. So he's acting like the Joker all the time, even when he's not on set.
Well, that happened to someone else and they did kill themselves.
Yeah. So he's trying to copy, what's his name?
I would try to copy it too, Heath Ledger, because
his
performance was phenomenal.
Except he's doing it in his Jared Leto douchebag way. So you know what he did? So Will Smith's character, Deadshot, he has his assistant send him a bunch of bullets. Okay? Here's some bullets for you from the Joker. Why would you do that? That's a threat. That's a workplace. Apparently he sent Margot Robbie, who played Harley Quinn, he sent her a rat. And it was a live rat. Apparently, according to her, she confirmed this, that all the cast members would pass it around and look after the rat on set.
So she got a pet she had to look after. That's always lovely. We know how that goes.
But a rat?
Yeah.
And
that's
also
not nice.
he had his assistant send two of the other cast members use condoms.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
he should have been fired. That's an HR firing situation.
But he's Jared Leto. We can't fire him.
I'm not an HR person. But we know they don't like to fire people in this, because we have someone else who has been a bad actor, and they haven't fired him.
Well, there's lots of actors who are assholes.
I just mean
jerks.
the Flash guy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
well,
that has nothing to do with this
done.
film.
Ezra Miller is done now.
He's not in this film.
But listen, so Jared Leto was causing a whole bunch of crap on the set of Suicide Squad. And you know how these rumors, now, maybe they're true, maybe they're not. I wasn't there.
True?
Some of them are, some of them might not be. Some of them were confirmed by other cast members. But here's the thing. You want to know where these rumors started? Started in an interview that Jared Leto gave. And he starts talking about these rumors. He started them. Why would he do that?
I don't know, but Jared Leto's not in this movie. That's in the other movie.
Yeah, but I'm giving you more dirt on the DCEU because I'm trying to give more and more information about these movies.
Listen, I don't even think half of them are worth watching. They're so bad. This one is just a waste of my time.
This one is a waste of time.
It's
I agree with you there.
It's like a very irritating commercial.
But it had some funny bits in it, and I enjoyed the funny bits.
2 jokes?
It's more than 2 jokes.
Two jokes. One was repeated.
There was some that weren't considered to be jokes, but I thought they were fun. There was a lot of weird stuff. I'm like, I don't need to see Flash and Cyborg slowly digging up Superman's grave. They're grave robbing now?
I just wanted to fast forward through all of it.
Okay.
And
anyway. That's why I give it a worst movie ever. But I did have lots of fun with this. Let us know your thoughts on 2017's Justice League from Joss Whedon, or on the Zack Snyder one. I've seen the Zack Snyder one. To me, it ain't any better. It's just longer. You know those slow-mo shots that Zack Snyder likes to do?
Did those people come back, the same people, and do another movie after saw the first one? Did they come back?
Some of them came back to shoot additional scenes.
Oh, so it's the same movie. It's the same footage.
Yeah, they used a lot of the same footage. They did a lot of visual effects.
Because I was going to say, once they saw this come out, I don't think they'd ever work with them again. Like, I'm surprised.
All the actors in all the Justice League members, they love working with Zack Snyder.
Yeah, but this movie is really bad. I'd be really embarrassed if I was in this movie.
Yeah, I can't comment on that. But let us know what you think on Justice League from 2017 or Zack Snyder's from 2021. I'll tell you, we're not going to watch that one, but it's essentially it's more dour. It's Zack Snyder's. It's more dour, mopey superheroes, and it's a lot of like long slow motion shots. And I'm like, oh, that's why it's over 4 hours long. I don't think it's better, but the next one that we got is great. We got Aquaman from 2018, which is the only DCEU movie to make $1 billion. The other DC movie that's made $1 billion is Joker, but that's not connected to the DCEU.
Because they wanted to see Jason Momoa half naked. I think that's why.
Who doesn't want to see Jason Momoa having a good time as Aquaman? My man! That's great. He even shows up in the Lego movies doing his Aquaman, and that's his line, my man.